Senator Edwards, can we get you to lead us in a fight song, please? Roll call.
Vice President Sani, Treasurer Mauricio, Chief of Staff Abdulwale, Director Oyewale, Assistant Director Montano, Assistant Director Elliott, Director Allen, Director Ajay, Director Johnson, Assistant Director Palmer, Director Dalla, Assistant Director Reyes, Director McLean, Assistant Director Scott, Director Burns, Director Fletcher, Assistant Director Fedgy, Director Brisbane, Assistant Director Colbert, Director Matahuba, Assistant Director Hurley, Director Moultrie, Assistant Director Basak, Director Mays, Director Saki Menzel, Representative Cornell, Representative Davis, Representative Lewis, Representative Mitchell, Representative Collier, President Pro Tempore Kadeem Wilson, Government Operations Chair Holland, Appropriations Chair Rivera Forbes, Senator Aloja, Senator Yaboa, Senator Dawkins, Senator Clark, Senator Rowlett, Senator Lamb, Senator Mcombuzi,
Present.
Senator McKnight, Senator Serrano, Senator Wokori, Senator Otike, Senator Edwards, Senator So, Senator Dolet, Senator Brinton, Senator Kelly,
Present.
Senator Akani,
Present.
Senator Baywa, Senator Grizzle, Senator Miller, Senator Tasker, Senator Breedlove, Chief Justice Danya, Deputy Chief Justice Olani, Associate Justice Norwood, Associate Justice Dixon, Associate Justice Bell.
Moving into the approval of the minutes. Minutes have been approved. Are there any amendments to the agenda? Hearing none, seeing none. Okay, so I would like to introduce our guest speaker for today's GA, Ms. Patricia Watson, Director of Sustainability. Thank you for taking the time to talk with us. Just the mic is okay, yeah.
Hello, everyone. I'm Patty Watson.
Wait, just make sure.
Hi, I'm Patty Watson. I'm the Director of Sustainability for Towson University. I'm here today to share with you some updates regarding sustainability on campus. It is Campus Sustainability Month. So I just wanted to give some highlights of what. Oh. Thank you. So I'm here today to talk a little bit about sustainability on campus, where the institution is and where it's going. So who here has heard of the Office of Sustainability? Oh, do you know what department we reside in? Does anybody know what department we're affiliated with? Okay, we're seated within facilities management. So for Towson University, sustainability has a heavy focus on environmental sustainability rooted in campus operations. But that is not all of what sustainability is. Sustainability is really a focus on systems. So we have to look at all of our systems and how they operate, what our impact is, and how we can mitigate some of the negative impacts associated with it. So with that, next slide. So we've compiled pretty much an end of year report focused on campus metrics associated with KPIs. Okay, next slide. Okay, so we're going to review some high-level topics associated with our greenhouse gas inventory, how we're impacting the campus, everything we do and what it measures. But this is not inclusive of all sustainability for the campus. There's additional focus on social sustainability that you might see through efforts through OIIE or other institutional departments and offices. So a primary metric that we use to measure the campus's impact is the greenhouse gas inventory. So back in 2022, Maryland passed the most aggressive climate legislation in the country. It's called the Climate Solutions Now Act. It has a target date for carbon neutrality of 2040 for buildings and 2045 for all campus operations. So what that means is that we have to eliminate our direct emissions. Direct emissions are found in the combustion of fossil fuels. So we have to start converting our equipment from everything from building operations to transportation. We have to start electrifying it. So it's a very expensive and complicated task. So I don't know. Does anybody have a guess as to, can anybody see how far we've come to date? So our baseline is 2007 for this. Our goal is to reduce our emissions 100%, but this is also done within a calculation that includes the purchase of renewable energy certificates or RECs. For the legislation, we have to eliminate all of our emissions. Some of the ways that that's going to be realized is through multiple pieces of state legislation, which include the Power Act, which is focused on offshore wind. They're looking at increasing solar production within the state. They're looking at geothermal. So as part of our approach to reducing and mitigating our impacts, we're also looking at those sources for our campus. Right now we have solar on our campus. Smith Hall is under construction or still in the design phase. But that will hopefully we'll have our first geothermal system associated with it. And so we're trying to make that net zero ready. And it'll be the first building like that on campus. So to date, 58% reduction isn't too bad compared to other institutions, but we know we can be doing a lot better. Next slide. So some of the largest contributors to our carbon footprint are buildings. And one of the ways that we try to mitigate or address that is through using a framework called the USGBC's Leadership for Energy and Environmental Design Construction Framework. It is a holistic view of sustainability for the built environment. All of our construction on campus since 2009 has achieved a LEED rating. And so as the industry has improved over time, where what was once a stretch goal, LEED Silver, is now industry standard. And so what we're seeing is that code is now coming up to this green building threshold, and it's becoming more commonplace to achieve it just by what is required for building any building, regardless of following the LEED pathway or not. But for Towson, we're very comfortable with achieving LEED Gold. So we have high performance buildings. They're situated close to transportation. They're conserving water compared to a comparable building. They're just more efficient overall. Next slide, please. Another source of our emissions, and this is predominantly realized in our scope 2 emissions in our greenhouse gas inventory, is the energy we consume. So a big win for Towson University within this last fiscal year was it's the first time that we've purchased 100% renewable electricity. So that is a big win for you. It's an investment in our carbon emissions reduction, and then it's sending the right message. There are 2 other institutions within the USM that also purchase 100% renewable electricity, and that is College Park and UMB. So we're on par with our peers within USM. When you think of sustainability, who here thinks of recycling? Right. It's what we do on a day-to-day basis. We're constantly consuming, we're purchasing, we're disposing of items. And so a lot of times when an individual thinks of sustainability, the first issue that they gravitate towards is recycling. So for the state, we have a 30% recycling mandate, 55% goal, and Towson University is sitting right at 55%. This is the highest recycling rate we've had to date. You're only as good as the numbers you get. And so all of our information is based on the data we receive back from our hauler. We get this information on a weekly basis for every dumpster on our campus. Who here has concerns about our waste system? Anybody have concerns? Right. So it's not perfect because it takes every person here to make the best choice. It takes the housekeepers to make the best choice. It takes the hauler to make the best choice to ensure that our materials are being diverted. So while we have done a great job, there is so much more that we can do. The biggest opportunity for us is really focused on waste reduction because that we don't have to worry about our recycling rate. I feel this is a flawed metric for the state in general, but it is a good metric to address or assess. But if we don't generate the waste in the first place, we don't have to worry about how it's managed. We don't have to pay for how it's managed. Like everything across every system, rates are going up. And so there has been a significant increase in waste management costs in the past year. And so that will then cause us to rethink our systems, to think about how can we do it more efficiently? How can we avoid certain waste? How can we redirect it? A good portion of that number is biogenic materials. So that's yard waste. You won't see the full waste tonnage in this report, but composting and yard waste, managing that and eliminating it from the incinerator, which we try to avoid to the maximum extent practicable, and landfilling certain materials so that way they're not generating methane. That is my primary goal. Overall waste reduction should be something that the university should review, address, realize, and put into play within the at the procurement side of things. So please know that we are doing well, but there's a lot of work to be done in that space. There's a lot of education to be done in that space. Transportation. Transportation at this point in time has emerged as a primary emission source for the state. Who here takes the shuttle on campus? Who here takes it from West Village to, say, another convenient point on campus? Right. Students use the service for a variety of reasons, for safety, accessibility, weather, but sometimes it's time management. And so when we look at the shuttle utilization, we've seen a significant shift over the past several years. Part of that has to do with the construction uptown or in the vicinity. So there's a lot of housing developments that are closer to campus. So there's less students that need to take a shuttle. This number used to be in total for shuttle rides, around 600,000 shuttle rides per year. So we're at about half or a little bit better than half. And that has to do with students not needing to take the shuttles from where they were going. And then also, I think for this piece of data, you need to think about what shuttles are we providing for what purpose? Are they providing us with the outcomes and meeting the needs in a responsible way? As part of the Climate Solutions Now Act, we are in the midst of an electric vehicle study. So we have to, again, transition away from our combustion engines and move towards electric vehicles. What you have not seen is that, there was a full assessment done. We were looking at what vehicles can we shed? What do we even need to have on campus for what purpose? So right sizing our fleet was first and foremost because you want to work towards conservation. And then looking at opportunities to right size the vehicle that you're using. So you might see more smaller electric vehicles on campus shared use pathways. That was because it was meeting a need for whatever entity needed said transportation mode, and then also helping them to avoid the heavy cost and other limitations of having a full electric vehicle. So that study will be completed eminently, and that information will be coming out. There'll be a lot of financial planning associated with it. Before we can bring in a full fleet of electric vehicles, we need to have the infrastructure associated with charging. So right now we have 40 charging stations on campus, but they're designed and located for the community use. I anticipate that there will be transitions in where those are located and how. Right now charging is free. It has been free for over a decade. That is not commonplace. It's not sustainable. So we do anticipate a change in that. To what degree, we don't know. We haven't worked out those details, but that is long-term planning. So nothing that is going to happen in the near immediate future. Next slide. Stormwater management. So as part of our requirements, Towson University is a phase 2 MS4, and that means that we're a small city, and we have all the obligations of a small city with addressing our storm sewer system. So all of the rain that hits uptown Towson comes through Towson Run. We take the impact of that. It harms our systems, but it's something that we need to address as a result of increased storms, heavier precipitation. So in response to a permit that we hold with the Department of the Environment, we completed a stream restoration of Towson Run from Osler to Emerson. And while we did have to remove several trees, we planted back 5-fold. So while we took out 100 trees approximately of a certain size, we planted back 500 trees and 500 shrubs. The whole purpose of that stream restoration was it was partially concrete, a lot of heavy erosion, cutting back into the bank. And so in order to mitigate that, we wanted to restore the space and reconnect it back to the floodplain. So that way, when there are those heavy storms and all of that water is coming through Towson, it now has a chance to re-enter the soil, percolate back, and provide more of a natural system instead of just causing the erosion and damage that it's done. This slide. So something fun. Towson University is a Tree Campus Higher Education designee. We also receive a plant award, people loving and nurturing trees. So we've received these awards for the past 6 years. And what's our favorite place to honor trees? The Glen. And maybe enjoy some outdoor time doing things that maybe we could avoid doing. So this past year, Towson is a smoke-free campus. I just want to reiterate that it's a big issue within the Glen. So Towson University is received a level 2 Arboretum status for the first time this year. And that was in thanks to a heavy lift by Dr. Jim Hall, who's a retired faculty member who has chaired the Arboretum for many, many years. So I can't thank him enough and his efforts. The Glen itself is 10 to 11 acres in the heart of campus, which is pretty special because not every campus has this. We are one of 3 arboretums in the region. There is Silburn Arboretum, which is a public space. Loyola of Maryland, they are also a certified arboretum, and then Towson. Within USM, it is us, College Park, and Salisbury, I believe, are the only accredited arboretum. So that to me is something special. It's not just given to you. You have to do a lot of work around it. There has to be outreach and education around tree care and management. So there is a team of people working in that space to ensure that we're addressing our canopy in a responsible and appropriate way. Dining. Dining is a huge component to sustainability. This is the first year we had a dining director of sustainability and well-being nestled into the dining contract. So while there have been maybe some growing pains with the transition to Aramark, it has, in terms of the sustainability of the food system for the campus, it is a long-term win. Towson University's dining program is now a Cool Foods program. So they also have goals of providing over 40% vegan and vegetarian entrees. This is all new. This is all changed. First semester versus second semester last year versus what you're seeing this year is going to be a more concentrated focus on the menu, but it also addresses the operations. So all of the dining halls now have been ranked by the Green Restaurant Association. And so they are now working towards enhancing those stars associated with the Green Restaurant Association. I believe 2 have 4 stars at this point, and 1 is working towards that, which they hope to achieve by spring. Next one. Another way that sustainability is measured within the state is the university's green purchasing. Green purchasing reporting is relatively new for Towson. It encompasses some very specific categories that are determined by the Department of General Services green procurement officers. So there is a council that exists that reviews all of the materials that institutions buy, and there's a subset of categories, and then we are required to purchase an environmentally preferable product within that category. That usually includes paint, lighting, certain construction materials like water sense fixtures, that way we're conserving water, but it also includes paper, it includes food systems, certain food items, compostable wares, janitorial supplies, and other products. The biggest category that is the easiest for us to capture and report on is electronics. And so you can see here that a good portion of what we purchase meets that green criteria is coming from our IT department. Next slide, thank you. As part of our sustainability efforts, we also try to positively impact the curriculum. We have a sustainability community of practice that is seated within Facet. Through that community of practice, we offer mini grants to faculty members to enhance or provide new courses focused on sustainability or sustainability related topics. So each fall, we put out the call, and then in the springtime, they'll submit their proposals. We'll go through a review process, and then over the summer, they're able to redesign their courses. And so that has been an effective measure over several years to provide additional courses that can then be used to support the relatively new sustainability minor. Is anybody part of the sustainability minor here? Does anybody know that we offer a minor in sustainability? It's something worth looking into. It is definitely interdisciplinary. So it's not always, some individuals might think it's solely focused in the sciences, but they really do take an interdisciplinary approach to how they incorporate sustainability into the curriculum. It is the most popular minor at College Park. There are several hundred students enrolled in that minor. And so it's something that if you're looking to add to your breadth of knowledge for your career, you might want to consider if a sustainability minor would be an enhancement. For some individuals, it's relatively easy for them just to take a few extra courses. For others, it's more of a planning process. So that's something to keep in mind. Every spring now, in April, we've been focused on a climate and justice teach-in. So this is a program that was brought to universities through a program at Bard. And it started as the worldwide teach-in on climate and justice. Maryland has a commission on climate change who then adopted the teach-in, and they actually proposed legislation to make the first week of April Climate Education Week. It did not pass this past year session, but I imagine that it'll be brought back up. Towson, regardless, participates in this teach-in. This past spring, we had 19 faculty members support the program, and we reached out or had impact and reached 788 students, which for a very passive effort has a huge impact on our student population, right? So again, faculty taking the charge and bringing this into the classroom, I think is very important, and we'll hopefully see that continue. Next slide, please. Do we have any impact to you participants? Yeah, right, all right, very good, yeah. So putting it into practice, right? So not only talking about sustainability as a campus, but putting it into practice. So approximately a quarter of the Impact TU students who participated this past spring participated in on-campus opportunities. So you don't have to go far to have an impact. But getting out in the community, understanding the same issues that are happening here are happening there. I think it's something that you really have to embrace and understand and reflect on. So again, we were throughout Impact TU, there were sites associated with stream cleanups, the Basic Needs Hub, the Glen, and a few other campus partners. So there are opportunities on campus to have impact, and you can do it in a relatively short time frame as well. Through our partnership with Civic Engagement, we also participated in an eco coalition where we were trying to bring together student leaders from the environmental organizations to just have a space for them to talk and collaborate. That program has a hold on it right now, but we hope to bring it back in the future. Does anybody know that Towson University was ranked 6th globally for gender equality? Right. So the Times Higher Education provides a framework for assessing the institution's performance against the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals. The Sustainable Development Goals include a wide breadth of sustainability-related topics. The impact rankings are focused on a higher ed version of the SDGs. So for Towson, ranking 6th globally out of, I think, 2,000 universities says a lot about the program, says a lot about the people. So again, another metric of sustainability. It's where we perform the best, but it's not the only place where we shine. We also score well with life on land, life below water, and climate action. Next slide. So again, highlights from this past year. Towson University participates in the Campus Race to Zero Waste. That is a 2-month competition between higher education institutions focused on waste reduction and reporting. We won the previous year for our online waste directory as part of an outreach and engagement effort. So we were very pleased to have that. It was the 3rd time that we have won that award. We again launched our new dining contract, which has a lot of sustainability related goals associated with it. Brought in our first director of sustainability and wellness. We were a host site for the MDE Food Summit. So much of 40% of all food is not consumed, it's wasted. And we have to think about that system much differently. We have to think about what we can do on campus and what we can do beyond our borders. So hosting the summit here in a very progressive state was, to me, a point of pride. It was the first time that we purchased 100% renewable electricity. And again, we were also recognized as part of our waste reduction efforts for the campus move out yard sale. Has anybody donated to the boxes during move out in their residence halls? So each year during move out, boxes are placed in the ground floor of each residence hall. We ask for donations. Those materials are collected. They're taken off-site to a partner agency. For us, it's Ascension Lutheran. They then go through and sort the materials, which is a very interesting exercise. We collect food, clothing, toiletries, household goods, and then we put on a large yard sale at the beginning of June. All the proceeds, all the work for this is volunteer, and all the proceeds go to a charity. that is selected by the church. So this past year, it was for, I apologize, this isn't going to be correct. It was for a kids' summer camp called Living Through History, and it was for children residing in historic East Towson. And so it helped to offset some of the cost of them going to the summer camp. So please know that I encourage you to promote donating surplus and unwanted items to the yard sale. Exchange amongst yourself first, but know that it does go to a place where we try to divert all of the materials that have been provided. We typically do donate to other local nonprofits before the sale as well, for those reemerging into society or that are part of various needs-based programs. And then at the very end, we donate all of the remaining items as well. So we really do try to make that a zero waste, but that was a big success being recognized by BT. So for this coming year, our hope is to submit for another sustainability ranking system for higher education. We're really looking forward to completing the electric vehicle study. We have a campus-wide tree map coming out. Relaunch of the EcoRep program. The EcoReps are the peer-to-peer environmental educators that reside in the residence halls. Right now, we have about a third of the residence halls covered, but we are looking for more students to participate in that program. We hope to begin conversations in alignment with the facilities master plan around a sustainability and climate action plan, as well as the decarbonization plan for the campus to respond to the Climate Solutions Now Act. And then expand our composting collection into other locations because not every building has the best infrastructure. And then last but not least, I'm really looking forward to launching a food alert app. And so this will be piloted, and what it is an opt-in system where if there is surplus food left over from an event, you would get a notification that is available for a certain period of time to go pick it up, and this will help us avoid food waste and address food insecurity.
Thank you so much, Patty. We're gonna open the floor up, just because of time's sake, we will limit it to one question and then we'll share her contact info. Sounds good? Okay, perfect. Aria? Oh, sorry, Senator Grizzle, sorry.
Hi, thank you for sharing. I know that Towson in the past, they've had a collaboration with, I believe, a bike sharing company. And I was just wondering, what are the chances of you guys bringing that idea back, whether it's bike sharing or scooter shares or something like that?
I am not speaking officially, but I do feel like that will be addressed during the next planning process, which we're going into. So for those that don't know, Towson University has supported 2 bike shares in the past. One was a traditional bike share called Spin. And then the second effort was through a company called Gotcha. And so they were like a line or something of the like. The first were just non-motorized bikes. That program ran for a few months. It was extremely popular. There was a high level of ridership. Challenges were with the management of the bikes because they went everywhere. And bringing them back onto campus was a little complex. But I do feel, and then with the second one, there were electric bikes. And so what's really interesting is when you put a bike share on campus, the bikes are dispersed every morning. And then by the end of the day, they're at West Village Garage. Students roll right down and drop them off down there. I feel like it's, in terms of micromobility, it's something that we need to fully address in a holistic way. That I know there are concerns at many institutions over electric micromobility, especially due to fire risk and safety risk. Who here has ridden a scooter? Love them, fun, right? Who here has worn a helmet? Right. So the number one concern with bringing a scooter, for me, I'm not speaking for anybody else, for me, is that head trauma is skyrockets when you bring those types of systems. And College Park right now has one. They have I think they technically have a ban on scooters on their campus except for what they have available. But it's not fully followed yet. And so we're realizing that this is something that we're gonna have to adopt to some degree, and we are planning for, at minimum, long-term planning for micromobility infrastructure to ensure that you can secure your device outside, charge your device outside in a safe and protected way. So the university is considering it.
Thank you. I know I said one question, but I do have an important question, and this like connects sustainability, the Office of Sustainability to SGA. I know that SGA has a green fund, and if you don't mind, like, how is it possible that we can utilize that green fund? Because I know for the past 2 years, it hasn't really been touched.
So I think there were some initial issues with the management and oversight of the fund. So many institutions have a green fund. This is part of student fee. Very typical, it's $12 per student per semester, and they gather a healthy amount for students to then submit proposals for very impactful projects for their campus. For Towson, we weren't able to pursue that. So SGA generously offered a line item within the budget to allow for students to have access to some funds, because what we were finding was that there were a lot of clubs and organizations that were pretty small and they couldn't meet the Tiger Stripes criteria, or they had a bigger project than what they had budgeted for. And so this is a way for students to gain access to the funds. I know it's on your site. Students just need to apply. It's a relatively simple process. And I think it's just awareness. I think students don't know or can't plan accordingly. So I'm hoping that we receive some submissions or proposals come into SGA. So start thinking about your club and organization. Think about if you want to host an activity for around Earth Day. I know it's a very busy time for students, and April might be hard. Say you want to see a change in your residence hall, you want to see a change associated with one of your clubs or organizations that you belong to outside of SGA. This fund is there to support that. There are many students that are focused on this, whether it's fast fashion, food related, waste reduction, transportation, bringing in the past, SGA has been a big supporter of sustainability. I feel that SGA continues to be that advocate. The solar panels on our campus would not be here without SGA. Those bike shares wouldn't be here without SGA. The alternative bike share that was previously hosted was through Campus Rec, and that was funded through SGA. So this fund is designed for student clubs and organizations to have access to reduce barriers for funding, but SGA has a bigger role to play outside of just that fund in terms of the greening of the campus. So please keep that in mind.
Thank you so much. And I'll be sure to share your contact info with the whole entire SGA.
Thank you so much for having me this evening.
Thank you. Perfect. Okay, so we'll be now moving into public participation / student concerns. Hearing none, seeing none. Okay, we can now move into communications, advisors' remarks. Can we have the mic passed down, please?
Happy Tiger Tuesday.
Happy
It's good to see everyone. I have 3 announcements to share. The first one is a save the date for the 7th annual Baltimore College Town Student Governance Summit. That's a lot. A couple years ago, Towson University. Hello, there we go. Towson University was the host of the Baltimore College Town Summit. It's an event and opportunity for SGA members from the Baltimore area to come together in a space of learning, connection, and general opportunity. So this year, it's not me. This year, the summit is at College. Can I? All right, this year, the event is at Goucher College. and it's February 1st from 10 to 3 p.m. We'll talk about this over the next couple of weeks. Hopefully the executive board can also help recruit. It would be ideal for there to be some TU representation at this event. If I had to put some like respect on our names, TU has a really high functioning SGA in the Baltimore area. I think you all are great examples to other student governments across the area. And that you can learn a little bit more about what other folks are doing across the Baltimore schools. My second announcement, I'll also send this information, I think, to our Director of Communications so that she can get the details out. Second announcement is about timesheets. So all of our paid members' timesheets are due tomorrow by 5 p.m. They're due early because of the university technically considers next week's election a floating holiday. We're not off. It's not off. It's a state thing. So please make sure you submit your timesheets by 5 tomorrow. And the last thing is to make sure you're remembering to practice self-care all the time, but particularly over the next couple of weeks. The counseling center sent some information to me that I'm about to forward to you all for some opportunities for some self-care. So I think there's some yoga sessions, some mindfulness types of events between this week and the next 2 weeks. So make sure you're taking care of yourself during this election period, but really all the time. And make sure you have a plan to vote. I yield.
Appropriations Committee.
Happy Tiger Tuesday, everyone. Happy Tiger Tuesday. I hope everyone's enjoying their week so far. The Appropriations Committee met last Wednesday at 11:30 a.m. as usual, and we got the opportunity to vote on 2 grants that were submitted to us. And we also finalized Article 6 of the FPSO, which is alternative funding section. So you'll definitely be seeing that bill come out very soon, hopefully next week. Just stay tuned for it. And we will not be meeting tomorrow due to budget hearing committees. So if you are a part of appropriations and you're not a part of the budget hearing committee, enjoy your day off. But we will be meeting next Wednesday. So stay tuned for that. Thank you. How you?
Government Operations Committee. No report. Rules Committee.
Good evening, everyone. Happy Tiger Tuesday. So a few things. Rules met last Thursday, 1 p.m. As per usual, we ruled Senate Bill number 4 favorable without amendments. Senate Bill number 5 favorable without amendments. Senate Bill number 6 favorable without amendments. Senate Bill number 7 not favorable. We reviewed Article 3, the judicial branch, and we do have a amendment being made to that article, which provides a section regarding appointments. We will be moving on to Article 4, which is lines of succession, this Thursday at 1 p.m. It doesn't conflict with budget hearings. If it does, I will send out a reminder or cancellation of that. And also another announcement, as like President Pro Temp, I sent out an email regarding like important information, a lot of updates from Senate leadership. So please make sure you did receive that. If you didn't, please like let me know. Also, we are changing Senate initiatives to Senate legislative priorities. So now they will be referred to as legislative priorities. If you hear me say that, that's what it is. It's an initiative, but now it's legislative priorities, just for some clarification and for the Senate to understand what their duties are. Any questions? With that, I yield.
President Ryan.
Happy Tiger Tuesday. Okay, so I'll be brief. I don't have much to report this week. Firstly, Gen 1 week is next week, so that's November 4th through November 8th, and there will be a full week of events. And we'll have more information on the specifics. SJ will also be collaborating on several things, so we're gonna need support from a handful of you guys, so I'd appreciate it. You'll get more details very soon before this week is over, but I'd appreciate it if you guys could show up and support for that. We work closely with the SSP to not only, help put on these events, but also just show our representation as students in the kind of first gen realm. So it's important that we show up and, we provide the adequate resources. So I'll be leaning on you guys for that next week. And that's again, November 4th through November 8th. So that Monday through Friday. Next thing, I know I asked this in the group meet, but real quick, if you're graduating this December, could you please raise your hand? Good, cool. Thank you. There's a reason I'm asking, but I just wanted to know, I wanted to make sure that that I had on my roster was correct with what I had in my own records. Next up, just a quick reminder. So last week we had a day, I think it was last Wednesday or last Wednesday. And the door was actually left, the door to the office was left propped open overnight. And so obviously, the door is supposed to lock after 5. So us leaving it propped open kind of makes a security issue. Some people accidentally or intentionally leave their things in there. Sometimes my office door is unlocked. Sometimes Susan's office door may be unlocked. Janai and Habib have their things on their desks. So please, let's just be mindful about that and be sure to keep the door closed. If you do need to absolutely get in, just communicate that with someone. The information desk also will unlock the door for you if you have something you absolutely need to get out of there or you just need to get in the office after 5. But please remember to keep that door closed so we don't have issues like that. And then my next reminder, which is also my last, if you're sick at all, please just stay home. Don't come to the office, don't come to GA pre-meeting, nothing, stay home. I've had a few members communicate with me that, they're starting to catch some of the illness that is being spread. And I don't want that to be a reoccurring theme. If you're sick, please stay home, it's okay. Attorney General Bennett will see your absence request, will recognize you're sick, and it will be okay. Just don't come around. Thank you. And lastly, for our member of the week, can I get a drum roll, please? So this week's member of the week is a new member to SGA, but we could tell very early on as an executive board, even in their interview, like this person was someone who had the determination and definitely wanted to set themselves apart. And throughout the school year, they've done just that. Last week specifically, we had our Party to the Polls event. And unfortunately, I know Director Jallo had something come up, she couldn't be there. And so we kind of filled in where we could. But this person did an exceptional job at not only, directing, communicating with people who came to the office, but also being featured in a TU newscast story. Just really doing all the things, above that we don't necessarily ask, but, we love to see it. And so without further ado, our member of the week for this week is Senator Britton. All right, with that, are you?
President Mauricio.
Happy Tiger Tuesday, everyone. So budget hearings are in process and they're expected to be done by the end of this week. For budget committee, Alana will send out an email to the new budget committee. Deliberations are going to be this upcoming Friday, so this 7th of November, and it's going to be all day. So please don't have anything planned for that day. We plan to start at 10, and there will be food. And if you're not there, you have to be there. There's no exception of not being there. And except if you have class. But even then, like. And with that, there you go. Oh wait, actually no. Good luck with people that have second exams. That I even.
Attorney General Bennett.
So
Just a few things. So again, echoing what President Ryan said, if you are sick, please do not come. Submit an absence request. I'll see it. That does not have to be 48 hours in advance. But anything else, if you know you already have something planned in advance, just please make sure to submit that 48 hours because if it is not submitted within, then it will be denied immediately. Also, there has been a lot of food and trash being left in the office. It is quite dirty. Make sure you are cleaning up after yourself because again, we do not want Stuart Gregory Allen, that mouse, to be running around. So, and if we cannot clean up after ourselves, unfortunately, like we would not be eating in there. So just make sure that you are picking up after yourself. Like y'all, we're adults, so just be mindful of that. Also, if you submit a weekly report and it was denied, just make sure to resubmit that. Like I've said before, your weekly reports need three things. It needs the day, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, it needs the times you were in the office, and also it needs to match either your punch card or your sign-in sheet. Your weekly report has to match that. So the day, time, and the activities that you did. I've sent multiple emails, I've sent multiple reminders, I've sent like 2 example emails of a weekly report. We are now in week 10. So if you still have questions or concerns about a weekly report, come to me. But from this point forward, like there should be no excuses with that. Also, we are in the midst of getting closer to finals. And like I've said, and like a lot of the board has said, I do not know if you do not come to me. So I understand mental health. I understand we all have classes. I understand. But I do not know what's going on if you do not communicate that to me. So just make sure that if you do have a problem, issue, or anything, that you are directly communicating to me. So with that, are there any questions? With that, I yield.
Chief of Staff Adewale.
Hi everyone, happy Tiger Tuesday. Okay, first and foremost, thank you to everyone who contributed to the breast cancer initiatives, from bagging and tabling to setting up and participating in the walk. Your efforts are very much appreciated. You guys look really cute in your pictures. Okay, now on a serious note, if you're part of the executive cabinet, that means directors and ADs, you received an email from me detailing your assigned tasks for the remainder of the semester, along with any other initiatives for the final 2 months that you might have. It's essential you review that email and begin completing your task immediately. As we have emphasized all semester, documentation is critical. Your SharePoint, each one of you, I've texted you guys, I didn't have to do that, I've emailed you guys. Unless you talk to me like a day before today, you have no reason for your SharePoint to be empty at this point in the semester when I'm about to ask you guys for transition materials. We're moving towards the second semester. Failure to adhere to the tasks will result in a PDR. Addition to that is your transition materials. Transition sheets are due November 16th. Write it down. Put in your calendars, November 16th. Many of you didn't receive proper documentations when you started, and you now have the responsibility to ensure others don't receive the same treatment. If your sheet is incomplete, I will send it back with required revisions, and it must be resubmitted before the deadline. So if you submit a transition document to me and I say something is missing, and I send it to you back, and you send it to me after November the 16th, that means you did not send it to me on the day I asked you to send it to me, basically. And that's gonna result in a PDR. Failing to meet, I just said that. But at this point, you should be familiar with your role and responsibilities. I'm now comfortable in my role and responsibilities. I hope you all are too. If challenges arise, communicate with me, the chief of staff, or Rio, so we can assist. Lack of communication and poor effort will result in a PDR after discussing your performance. So if I've discussed with you all the things that we need to work on and you keep doing it, and I see lack of efforts, I see you not hosting events, I see you not doing anything, you're sitting in the office, that will result in a PDR after discussing things with you. Moving forward, as you can tell, there will be a little bit less leniency with you guys. We're about to be in the second semester. You guys should be comfortable in your roles. We're moving forward. Next semester should be one of the best semesters. You guys should be planning events like crazy. One-on-ones are mandatory and begin on November 11th. The sign-up link is in your email. You're expected to come prepared with at least one initiative per month. So one initiative per month for the next semester, including all relevant details like who, what, where, and why. These plans must be ready to present during your 30-minute session. So when we have that one-on-one, I need to know what event you want to do for each month. Like one event, that's all I'm asking for you guys. That's basically your job. So please come prepared. Any questions? Chloe?
How does that work with marketing since we don't really plan events? Could it just be a goal for the month?
Yeah, so it could be like a goal or whatever you have in mind. It's also like partially a check-in. So just making sure if you have any problems, if you do want to have initiatives for the next month, you guys can do that. That goes for marketing communications as well. If you do have something you want to start, that could be possible. But for you guys, that's mostly like a check-in, what you might need for next, or lacking in the office, materials, so on and so forth. So just have that ready for me so I can give it to Janaya. Any other questions? Going once, going twice, so everybody chooses one for that one, and it's, I mean, I don't know. Department of Academic Affairs.
Happy Target Tuesday, everyone. Just two quick things to report. Firstly, the International Travel Advisory Committee met this morning, so in that meeting this morning. And secondly, our event with the Career Center is next week Wednesday. Major is blind. That's from 6 p.m. to 7:30 p.m. You can feel free to stop in and kind of chime in your experience for the freshmen and the sophomores. And that's all. Any questions? There you.
Department of Communications.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. All right, so Towson University's Marketing Communications Department is seeking to select students with a strong interest in Black history and culture to attend 2 meetings to help curate the university's Black History Month storytelling campaign. So if you're interested, you can see me after GA or you can send me an email. Our monthly Instagram takeovers will now be Tiger Tuesday takeovers, so signups will be going out on Wednesday morning for the following week. Director Ali and Chief of Staff Adewale on the planning process of a Friendsgiving, so more details will be coming soon. Communications and Student Services and Affairs are also in the planning stages of our college declassified. Details will be coming soon for that as well. And then our 21 questions vote style with President Rhines will be filmed this Friday in the office from 1:30 to 3:30. And a special thank you to Director Gross for the wonderful graphic that she made for the video. Any questions? Thank you, AU.
Department of Community Outreach.
Happy Taco Tuesday, everyone. Just wanted to say first that the walk to end Alzheimer's was this past Thursday. Thank you for everyone who donated and supported that. $150 was raised, so just thank you again. Also, yesterday, for my people that came with me to St. Vincent's Villa at the opportunity yesterday, again, another thank you. I got an email from Dominique, who's the community service coordinator over there, saying how much she appreciated us and how much the kids appreciated it as well. So thank you. If you still have not registered for Involve TU, please do so as soon as possible because me and Director Allen are in the process of putting in hours. And lastly, if you participated in a service, please bring in some type of photo identification so that we can know that you were actually there. And right now, do not add your own hours as it will disrupt the tracker we use to manage all service hours. Are there any questions?
President Pro Tem for 50 and Wilson.
Is that until the end of the semester not to add your own hours?
Yeah, I'll yield my time to Director.
Okay. Really the thing about not adding your hours is right now is because a lot of times it's done without notification. So when you guys do it, we don't have anything on our end, so we can't get a specific count of how many hours are done. So adding your own hours isn't a problem if you do it with notification, but don't just put them in willy-nilly and not let us know because then it messes up what we have on our end and we can't get an accurate count. That's really it. Thank you.
Are there any other questions? Okay, with that, I yield.
Department of Diversity and Inclusion.
Hey guys, this really quick. So this coming Monday, November 4th is our collab with the Latin community. So it's gonna be a Day of the Dead, celebration. So I just want to give a quick timeline so you guys know like what type of event it is, because it's supposed to be fun. So it starts at 10 a.m. and there's an altar visit where you can respect people who passed away. It could be anybody, it could be a grandmother, it could be pets, it could be literally anybody. It's a celebration of life. And then at 12 p.m., there's going to be a mariachi band performance in Tiger Plaza. Then around 12:30, you go to CLA on the 4th floor by the cafe. And there's gonna be some educational pieces just about the history and the culture of the holiday. And then around 1:15, there's gonna be a performer where she will just do like an interpretive piece to further guys education about the holiday. And then around 2, there'll be like a little arts and crafts project. So again, somewhere in the 4th kind of holiday, 10 to 2 p.m. So feel free to stop in and out. And does anyone have any questions? Period. Okay. But that you.
Department of Governmental Affairs.
Happy Tiger Tuesday, everyone. Okay, so as you all know, next Tuesday, November 5th is election night, and the stakes could not be higher. The Department of Governmental Affairs is leading the election night watch party, and this event is designed to bring our community together, stay informed, and support each other during what promises to be a pivotal election. This year's election is critical not only because it will shape the next 4 years of leadership, but also because the results will impact issues that matter deeply to all of us. It's about who represents us and the values that drive our policies, issues that affect our lives as students, young professionals, and future leaders. And voting is one of the most powerful tools we have to create the future we want to see. So let's definitely show up and make sure our voices are heard. And as Director Harris said, make sure you get out and vote. As we prepare for the night, we'll start setting up around 6:30 p.m. and any help would be greatly appreciated. The event runs until 11 p.m. and while it's not mandatory, we strongly encourage you to attend. Not only will we have big prizes like an iPad, Beats, headphones, and a TV, but we're also working with fraternity and sorority life, so there will be plenty of healthy familiar faces. If you are a part of a Greek organization, remember that your participation will count for CAP points. For questions about CAP, feel free to contact Representative Lewis. And then also to support everyone's well-being during this event, we've set up a wellness station where you can relax with tea, essential oils, yoga, and guided meditation by the counseling center. We know elections can bring up a range of emotions, so we want to make sure that everyone has a space to recharge and refocus. So yeah, I hope to see you all there. Any questions? Oh.
President Ryan.
Okay, so maybe 2 questions depending on your answer to the first one. So you said that this event is a collaboration with FSL, right? Just them or anyone else?
Oh, no. FSL, the Counseling Center, and Civic Engagement and Social Responsibility.
Okay. The only reason I ask is because maybe we can talk about this afterwards.
Okay.
But nothing bad. Nothing bad.
Oh, okay.
Assistant Director Ajay.
I just wanted to ask, where will it be at?
It's in the ballroom. V&E. That's it? Oh, okay. All right, any other questions? Okay,
Senator Edwards.
For the election night, is it just like a watch party? Like, I'm confused when the prizes come into play. Other activity?
yeah, there's gonna be activity.
Thank you.
There's other prizes besides those things also. Okay. With that, I yield.
Department of Health and Wellness.
And happy Tiger Tuesday, everyone.
I'll keep it brief. So the Eco Fair, collaboration with sustainability is on Thursday. I'll let them talk more about that. The wellness bingo, basically, a way to get students to actually go out to the resources that they have for like the counseling center, the, health center and all that good stuff. We also have a meeting with Health Promotions on Thursday for a possible event for next semester. The De-Stress for Success event is still in the works. Any questions? Okay, with that, I yield.
Thank you. I also just wanted to say, I see many members on their phones. This is a violation and will be noted, so please do not be on your phones. Department of Marketing.
Happy Tiger Tuesday. So the first thing, well, it's not really a lot. It's just kind of like something to share with you all so you can kind of see like what we've been doing. So the Alzheimer's awareness walk, we did like a recap video so that you all could see what was going on with that event. And then we also did like a recap post of the breast cancer awareness walk. And then just a reminder that if you have any events and you need graphics or any kind of like designs made, that you can feel free to talk to us about it, just so that we can have the ideas put together and then, you know, start working this as soon as possible. Any questions? With that, I yield.
Department of New Student Development.
Happy Tiger Tuesday.
Happy Tiger Tuesday.
Not much. I just want to say thank you for all those who came out to Freshman Council's events. And that's it. With that, I yield.
Department of Special Projects.
Happy Tiger Tuesday.
Happy Tiger Tuesday.
Okay, so I am now able to book events for next semester. So if y'all, need some events, put them in, and that's all I have.
Department of Student Services and Affairs.
Happy Tiger Tuesday, guys.
I'm
gonna keep it quick. Just November 6th, next week is Dessert with E-Board. If you guys wanna come to that, just a reminder, you guys can't eat it, but you can talk to everybody at the event too. And then second, we have everything confirmed with Nora Clark Giles for our CPR event in a couple months. Any questions? Okay, that I yield my time.
Department of Student Organization.
Hi, everyone. Just two announcements. Thank you for everyone that helped with the tabling for Tiger Tuesday today. And also, I have an event coming up on the 11th of November called Towson Girl Hobbies. So it's basically like an involvement fair, but like a bigger scale, where student orgs can have activities that students can participate in so they can get a feel for what their orgs do. So yeah, I'm trying to make it like a reoccurring thing where we would have it like basically every weekend on campus. So I want to do a test run this semester for spring. So any questions? And with that, I yield.
Department of Sustainability.
Hi, everyone. So just real quick, the Eco Fair is this Thursday from 12 to 2. From 12 to 2, please come if you can. We're gonna be painting tote bags. There's gonna be like free giveaways like candy and the little black cups that we have from SGA. So yeah, please come. Any questions? Okay, with that, I yield.
Military Veterans Representative. Greek Life Representative.
Happy Tiger Tuesday, everybody.
Happy Tiger Tuesday.
So I just got a couple things, like Director Jallo said, fraternity sorority life,
all 5 councils will be collabing in some capacity with the event next Tuesday. So if you are able to come out to it, that would be great, be fantastic. If you want to offer help, that's also greatly appreciated as well. But we will be collaborating with programs. So yes, that is going to be huge. It is for CAP. If you have questions about that, or your organization has questions about that, they can reach out to me, and I can provide more information. The other thing that I will say, I don't know why it's happening. I don't know how it's happening, but if you hear anything in reference to Greek life outside of anybody that is affiliated with Greek, it is wrong. Okay, it is important that we protect the reputation and the information about Greek life. If it somehow comes back to me and I know who the person is and I know how information is being spread, I will not be very happy. So please, if you are not part of Greek life and you are spreading information that is false, stop doing it. Thank you.
URG representative.
Okay, so happy Tiger Tuesday.
Happy Tiger Tuesday.
Last Thursday, we had our movie event. We had our tabling events. We had people table there. We had the Career Center, I think the Health Center, Center for Student Diversity and more. We had 114 people in attendance and the movie went well, so yay. November 1st is the start of our all-in drive with the hub. This will go until November 15th. Donation boxes will be in residential halls. Pickup days will be November 7th and November 18th. So, you know, you have to begin to put more stuff in there. And lastly, we did confirm that our Friendsgiving event will take place November 20th in Ballroom E. From 6 to 8, hopefully, the time may change, but besides that, any questions? And with that, I yield.
Sports Club Council representative.
All right, I'll keep it short. The SCC is voting currently on a new amendment to our handbook about safety officers needed for certain events. The vote should be in by tomorrow. We're also starting our food drive for the needy. And then the only other thing is men's rugby reached the D2 national tournament. So that's all.
Have representative.
Good afternoon, a few announcements. Tomorrow from 7 to 9, CAP is having Survive Towson. That's gonna start on Tiger Plaza and it's gonna be campus wide. The map for where all the stations gonna be at is on our Instagram. And then lastly, for all of the collabs that we had for November, we got about 10 to 15 submissions. And so we're not right now in the works of contacting the awards. Any questions?
Representative Davis.
So like for the Survive Towson, do you want the infected to report to Tiger Plaza to like sign in?
Everyone's gonna report to Tiger Plaza at 7. Any other questions? With that, you one time.
Transfer student representative.
Tomorrow we'll have our first day open event of the evening from 12 to 3, sorry, 12 to 2. And we got a new application, we got a new person interested in Transfer Council, which is good. We're working on that. And besides that, that's it. Any questions? Is that you?
Freshman Council representative.
Happy Tiger Tuesday, everyone.
Happy Tiger Tuesday.
To begin off, I just want to say a big thank you to the everyone that came out to our first event last Thursday, our bonfire night, and also our game night that we held yesterday. The support that we received from everyone was great, and we really appreciate it, and we look forward to collaborating with those who came out more. Our two successful events that we had, obviously the game night and the bonfire night. We are gonna have our next meeting this Friday, and we'll be planning our winter drive that is happening next month, and also our next event, which will be a tabling. With that, any questions? With that, I yield.
Okay, my report is brief. Just after GA, just make sure you recycle your agenda, and then, because next week is election day, there is no GA. So have fun and relax. And are there any opinions of the court? Can we get the mic to be passed down, please? There are no opinions of the court. Thank you.
All right, we will now move into a quorum call. When the vote opens, please click the green button to signal that you are here. That we have quorum, just for some clarification, there is no printed version of resolution number 14 in the packet, but will be pulled up on the screen. Are there any motions on the floor? Senator Brinton.
Resolution 14.
Is there a second? Thank you. Appropriations Chair Rivera Forbes. And with that, we'll move into a vote on the review of resolution number 15. And that the vote now open. Okay, with that, the motion to review resolution number 14 has now passed. Would Gabriela Orellana please step forward and present your case for why you feel as though you'd be a great addition to SGA? Just turn it on.
Hello, everybody. I'm Gabriela Oriana. I'm a senior. I'm a double major in exercise science and Spanish. I want to be a SGA Gen 1 representative. I work closely with the SSP office as a stage mentor. That's about it, yeah.
Thanks. Are there any questions? All right, seeing no questions, would you please step out of the room as we vote on resolution number 14? Would anyone like to speak on their behalf?
President Ryan?
Yeah, so I've actually been working closely with Gabriella over the course of the last few weeks. Not only in finding a first gen low income representative, but also just on, all Gen 1 efforts in general. I've been making a lot of trips to the SSP office and she's been very, very helpful with me. And I've also kind of briefed her on what the position would entail as, Gen 1 week is literally next week. But since she is already, closely tied with the SSP office, she's prepared for all of that, as well as what we ask of her from SGA. So she's a great fit for the position and I think you should vote for her.
Thank you. Would anyone else like to speak on their behalf? All right, seeing none, are there any motions on the floor? Senator Britton?
I'd like to call the question, resolution 14.
Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you, Appropriations Chair Rivera Force. With that, we will move on to call the question for resolution number 14. And with that, the call to question on resolution number 14 has passed, so we will move into a formal vote on resolution number 14. And with that, resolution number 14 has been passed. Could somebody please let the new representative in? Raise your right hand and repeat after me. Ready? I do solemnly affirm
I solemnly affirm
that I will faithfully serve
that I will faithfully serve
the students of Towson University,
the students of Towson,
execute all of the duties and responsibilities
all the duties and responsibilities
of this position and strive to achieve
of this position and strive to achieve
the high level of expectation
the highest expectation
that accompanies a position
that accompanies the position
within the Student Government Association
within the Student Government Association
of Towson University.
of Towson.
I will preserve, protect, and defend
Protect and defend
the Constitution
the Constitution
and all other governing documents of the Student Government Association
of the Student Government Association
of Towson University
of Towson University
to the best of my ability.
best of my ability.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Are there any motions on the floor? Senator Dawkins? I motion to review Senate Bill number 4. Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, Senator Serrano. Well, now moving to vote on the motion to review Senate Bill number 4. All right, that the motion to review resolution number 4, Senate Bill number 4 has been passed. And could Government Operations Chair, seeing that I'm the bill writer, could Government Operations Chair please take over?
Okay, so as we've reviewed this, as we've already had first reading on this bill, it is just making the hours consistent and our practices with what we actually do in SGA to the governing documents, this one being the accountability and ethics handbook. Does anyone have any questions? Senator Miller.
I got a question, Senate Bill number 4.
Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, Senator Miller. It being that the call of question passed, we'll go into a formal vote. Okay, Senate Bill 4 was passed. Any motions on the floor? Senator Grizzle?
Motion to review Senate Bill number 5.
Is there a second?
A second.
Thank you, Senator Tasker. Okay, President Pro Tempore. Cynthia Wilson, sorry. Can you tell us about Senate Bill 5? Senate Bill 5 is the same thing as Senate Bill 4, just within the bylaws, making all of the documents consistent with one another. Clarifying that we do require 5 hours per semester, one of which needs to be completed through an SGA sponsored event. And yes, any questions? Also, this is, since we are in review, you can also make any statements as well, but just wanted to clarify that. Okay, being that there's no questions, any motions on the floor? Senator Miller?
I call the question, Senate Bill number 5.
Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, Senator Roulette. Into a formal vote now. Senate Bill 5 was passed. I'm handing the mic back to President Printle. Oh, I'm handing it back to Lana. Thank you. Are there any motions on the floor?
I motion to review Senate Bill number 6.
Oh, I didn't acknowledge, but,
Oh.
Government Operations Chair Holland,
Okay, I motion to review Senate Bill 6.
is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, Senator Rowland. We are currently voting on the motion to review Senate Bill number 6. All right, with that, the motion to review Senate Bill number 6 has passed. Would Senator Kelly please step forward and once again speak on behalf of your bill?
Senate Bill number 6 is just an amendment to the standing rules of order to add an explanation of the motion to suspend Senate rules. Any questions?
Is there a point of information? Did somebody need some clarification on what was just said? Could you just repeat yourself, Senator Kelly, please?
Senate Bill number 6 is an amendment to the standing rules of order to add an explanation of what it means to make a motion to suspend Senate rules.
If you do have a specific question, please raise your hand so you can be acknowledged. Associate Justice Norwood. Oh, wait, sorry, my apologies. I recommend that a member of the Senate yield their time to Associate Justice Norwood. Senator Miller.
I yield my time to Associate Justice Norwood.
I just want to know, like, can you give an example on where someone in the Senate would use this motion, like, provide that?
So if like a bill, if it comes back for a second reading, if it's for some reason, it doesn't have like a committee recommendation, rather than waiting a whole nother week to vote on it, you would just make a motion to suspend the rules to vote on it that day. Just to speed up the process, basically.
I recommend that someone, a member of the Senate yield their time to Chief Justice Sonia. Senator Dawkins. I yield my time to Chief Justice Sonia. I just wanted to ask, so would that be like a permanent decision regarding that, or like?
If you read it in there, it says it only lasts for how long you are doing the action or until the end of the term. It's not a permanent change.
Just a point of clarification, like, we already do this, it's just not specified in the documents. We've done this in the past assemblies, I don't know if they've used it. We did it a couple weeks ago as well, but just outlining specifically what it entails. Any other questions? All right, seeing none, are there any motions on the floor? Are there either? Senator Yeboah?
To Senate Bill number 7.
Number 6, did you?
6, sorry.
Is there a second?
I second.
Thank you, Senator So. Without, we will now move into a vote on the call to question on Senate Bill number 6.
With that, the call to question has been passed, and we will now move into a formal vote on Senate Bill number 6. With that, Senate Bill number 6 has been passed. Are there any motions on the floor? Senator So.
Motion to review Senate Bill 7.
Is there a second? Thank you, Senator Gibbons. And with that, we will now move into a vote on the motion to review Senate Bill number 7. Yeah. And with that, the motion to review Senate Bill number 7 has been passed. Senator Kelly, would you please also touch a little bit on what the bill consists of?
Senate Bill number 7 is an amendment to the preamble of the Constitution to include the words nonpartisanship and impartiality.
Are there any questions or comments? Senator Brinton.
Hello, so I don't really have a question, but I have a few comments. So I was reviewing the preamble and I noticed that the 2 words you wanted to add kind of have a direct conflict with some other statements in the preamble, such as free discussion and self-expression. And I feel like the ideals that you're trying to add, well, they're very important for people to have, and as a general representative body, it's important, but I think the partiality that a lot of people hold in their hearts and ideals help drive our initiatives. And I feel like those things inside the individual people are very important for us to have, and it kind of conflicts with our, again, free discussion and self-expression for us to add those things in there.
Right, so I would agree. So this doesn't pertain to individual members, but it pertains to how the organization as a whole, like the organization can support a specific political party, because we have to remember that we advocate for things like we have voter registration tablings. We're going to have a voting watch party, election day watch party. So while it's not individually, we all have our own political beliefs, and that's perfectly fine. But as an organization, we have to remember that we represent 20,000 students, and those thousands of students have different political beliefs. So we kind of have to remain neutral on that, and at the same time, we have to remain fair. So that's what it's saying.
I got you.
Just to kind of piggyback off of Senator Brinton, preserving an atmosphere of free discussion and self-expression would be directly in contrast with preserving an atmosphere of nonpartisanship. If we're trying to encourage free discussion and self-expression, that is once again tied tightly with your ideas, and these ideas are also tightly associated with your political ideologies as well. Any other comments, questions? Senator Miller?
I guess also just as a comment or possible counterpoint to you saying as student government, we represent that as a governing body, which yes, I agree with, but existing in the preamble, it's discussing the atmosphere that we want to my understanding, correct me if I'm correct, the students is what we want to put out there and have the ability to give. So I guess also piggybacking off of what Senator Brinton and President Pro Tempore Vivian Wilson was saying, if we want to be able to give the atmosphere of that as an SGA representing the student body. Like, I understand where it's coming from with that. And I agree that SGA with what we put out there should be nonpartisan and impartial. But our ability for discussion, we should allow students to be able to represent that.
Right, I wouldn't say that this affects freedom of speech, but rather that, like, we can still have political discussions, but this basically means that the Student Government Association can't take sides based on things like political affiliation, because already in the preamble of the FPSO, like, we can't give or deny funding based on political affiliation. Like, it has to be a fair process. And obviously in the Accountability and Ethics Handbook, it says that we have to treat people fairly regardless of things like race, gender, sex, religion, or political affiliation. So this wouldn't really deny freedom of speech. It's just the fact that when we represent the entire student body, we have to be fair and we cannot take sides.
So, point of clarification again, we already do not take like political sides. Technically, our bills, things that we do put forward are always going to have a political connotation when it comes to like difficult topics that we are addressing as a body, as the SGA. Once again, during Rules Committee, we did discuss this, we did review it. We talked about Tiger Pride Day, and that's like, we are picking political like bills that have relation to political ideologies, political parties, and we are lobbying for them. That's a political thing that we do, and we are expected to represent the student body within those stances that we make. So that's just another thing to provide. Any other questions or comments? Any other? Okay, seeing none, are there any motions on the floor? Senator Dawkins. I call question Senate Bill number 7. Is there a second? I second. Thank you, Senator Tommy. With that, we move to call the question on Senate Bill number 7. Okay, so that was the vote on the call to question. So now we will be voting on the actual piece of legislation. We will be moving into a final vote on, well, for now, on resolution, Senate Bill number 7. Seeing that the call to question has passed. With that, Senate Bill number 7 has failed. Thank you, Senator Kelly. Are there any announcements? Chief of Staff Ottawale. Just a reminder, next pre-meeting, there's no pre-meeting, sorry, yeah. There's no pre-meeting this week. Get your littles, I mean, if you have it, littles get your big something, and the littles that did not, their big wasn't there for the last pre-meeting, you will be getting your big will communicate with you if they weren't present for the last pre-meeting. And that's final.
Are there any other announcements? President Ryan.
So like I said earlier in my communications, Gen 1 week is next week. And one specific event that we'll be collaborating on with SSP is the open mic night that will take place next Wednesday, Wednesday evening in Pause. I'll send out more details before the week is over, but just wanted to put that here right now. And there will also be a Gen 1 panel, and our new first gen low income representative will be speaking on it. So let's please make sure we support. And then we will also have a table at the Gen 1 resource fair next Friday as well. So we're gonna need some volunteers for that, but just make sure you show up and support. Any questions? Assistant Director Martano.
What time is the Friday event?
I'll get back to you. I don't want to say anything incorrect. I'm pretty sure it's like noon, but or around that time, but I'll get back to you. I'll send out an email with everything specific. Any other questions? Okay, cool.
Any other announcements? Okay, just really quickly, I want to say happy Halloween. Also, please prioritize your safety this week. Like, seriously, please, like, seriously. Safety first, no driving if you're doing anything crazy, please. But hope to see you all out there in your cute costumes. Did you know that? Okay, so another announcement, keep us stuff unrolled.
We forgot to do this. It's Senator Clark's birthday and somebody else's birthday, I can't remember. And Assistant Director Masonwork birthday, he's not here, but Senator Clark is, so you know what to do. In 3, 2, 1, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday.
Are there any motions? Governor operates Chair Holland. I'll get it done with that. Okay. Order. I motion to adjourn. Is there a second? Thank you, Senator Roman. With that, we will now move into a vote on adjournment. General Assembly is now adjourned.